Imagine this. You wake up early every morning, commute to your 9 to 5 job, and work hard all day, only to see your paycheck vanish the moment it arrives. Rent, bills, groceries, maybe a few nights out, and poof, your money's gone. That was John, a 25-year-old guy living paycheck to paycheck, making about $2,500 a month, wondering how anyone ever gets ahead in life. But what John didn't realize then is that he was about to change everything. Over the next 25 years, John would go from broke and frustrated to completely financially free. Stay with me until the end, because when you see where John ends up, you'll realize how powerful time, discipline, and smart investing can be. Let's start from the very beginning, the wake-up call. At 25, John decided he was done being broke. He sat down with a notebook and started listing every expense he had: subscription services, weekend dinners, random shopping. It all added up, so he made cuts, serious cuts. He canceled everything he didn't need, stopped eating out, and focused on saving. When the dust settled, he freed up $400 every month. Now, most people would have spent that money somewhere else, but John decided to invest it. He started putting $400 a month into a simple ETF, averaging around 8% annual returns. No gambling, no day trading, just steady, consistent investing, month after month, year after year. After 3 years, his account balance started to grow in ways he'd never seen before. Let's check the scoreboard. John's net worth after 3 years of disciplined investing: $15,586. Not enough to retire, but enough to light a fire inside him. He realized his money could finally work harder than he could. The side hustle spark. By 28, John was consistent, but he felt stuck. His investments were growing, but his income from his day job was still limited. He wanted something more, something scalable, something that could eventually run on autopilot. After months of thinking, he discovered affiliate marketing. He spent late nights building websites, testing content, and learning how to drive traffic. For 2 years, nothing seemed to work, but John didn't quit. Then, slowly, things started changing. A few clicks here, a few commissions there, and soon he was earning an extra $500 a month. He could have spent it. Instead, he doubled down, investing all $900, his $400 plus the new $500, every single month. After 5 years of investing, John's net worth had grown to $28,586. Not millions yet, but proof that his system worked. Discipline and growth. By 30, John's discipline had become second nature. His affiliate business was growing, and so was his confidence. At 33, he increased his monthly investments to $1,400. He automated his savings, his investments, everything. No emotions, no hesitation, just consistency. His friends were buying new cars, going on vacations, and showing off their lifestyles. John? He was building wealth quietly. By 35, those quiet habits started making noise. Net worth check, age 35. John's portfolio had grown to $119,278. Still far from rich, but his foundation was rock solid, and the magic of compounding was just getting started. The big move, age 35 to 40. At 35, John realized that long-term wealth isn't just about stocks. He needed assets, things that could generate income and appreciate in value. So he walked into a bank and took out a mortgage to buy his first rental property, worth $200,000. The rent covered the loan, the property expenses, and even left him with a small profit. And here's the thing about real estate. Good properties don't lose value. They grow with time. While he managed his rental, John kept investing $1,400 every month into his ETF. And over the next 5 years, both his portfolio and his property value grew steadily. Net worth at age 40, investment portfolio, $278,117. Real estate, now worth $250,000. Total, $528,117. He had officially escaped the rat race. At 40, John retired from his 9-to-5 job and focused full-time on his own ventures. For the first time in his life, time belonged to him. Freedom and expansion. At 40, John had one goal: growth. He automated his business, optimized his income streams, and started investing $2,000 per month. He also made a decision to pay off his mortgage early. 5 years later, at 45, John owned his apartment completely. No debt, no bank, just pure ownership. And his investments, they'd been compounding beautifully. Net worth at 45, investment portfolio, $555,864. Real estate, fully paid off, now worth $250,000. Total $805,864. At 45, John wasn't chasing money anymore. Money was chasing him. The empire. Once the first property was fully his, John made his next big move. He went back to the bank and bought another apartment, this time worth $300,000. The rent covered the mortgage entirely, and his first property now brought in $1,000 a month in pure profit. And because John was John, he invested that too. Every month, $3,000, $2,000 from his income, $1,000 from rent, went straight into his investment fund. 5 years passed. The compounding did its work again. His first property appreciated further to $280,000. The second one stayed around $300,000, and his investments crossed the $1 million mark. John's net worth at 50 years old. Investment portfolio, $1,037,000. Property 1, $280,000. Property 2, $300,000. Total, $1,617,000. From zero to over $1.6 million. And all of it built on discipline, patience, and smart decisions. Final message. John's story isn't about luck. It's about patience, consistency, and believing that small steps add up over time. He didn't get rich overnight. He built wealth slowly, deliberately, 1 month at a time. At 50, he's completely free, financially and mentally. And here's the thing. He's only halfway through his journey. Imagine where he'll be at 60. 2 more decades of compounding. 2 more decades of rent, growth, and investments. He won't just be leaving behind numbers on a screen. He'll be leaving behind a legacy, a future for his children, security for his family, and a roadmap for anyone willing to follow his steps. So if you're still living paycheck to paycheck, remember this. John started exactly where you are now. He cut the waste. He invested consistently. He stayed focused when others gave up. And that's what turned $0 into $1,617,000. Start small, stay consistent, and one day you'll look back and realize you've built your own empire too. If John's journey inspired you, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this story with someone who needs to hear it. Because if John could do it starting from nothing, so can you. And who knows? Maybe one day we'll be telling your story next.